Hey everyone, today in this video we're going to learn how to install Google Drive onto your computer. We're going to learn how to access Google Drive from the web, how to share files and how to edit files, and the difference between editing documents on your computer and editing documents within the Google Drive web interface. So to get started, we're going to open up our internet browser. So I'm going to use Google Chrome. I recommend using Google Chrome. It's nice and fast and it works really good with Google Drive, but you can also use Internet Explorer or Firefox if you would like. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to the Drive website. So go to drive.google.com. And it's going to ask you to log in. Now our emails are at DCIS Montbello, so it's your last name at dcismontbello.org. This is very important because some of you might have your own Gmail account. So mine's SharpMTV Gmail. We're not using our Gmails. We're using our DCIS Montbello, which is a different email. It's a different account. So make sure that you're using this one for work-related stuff. The first time you log in, your password's DCISM123. I'm going to type in my other password because I've already logged in. But when you log in, DCISM123, and it's going to ask you to retype that password and then create a new password and then retype your new password. So make sure you remember that password because it's what you're going to need to log in every time. If you happen to forget it, just email me a tech request form and I can reset your password. So you know you signed in correctly when you can see the DCIS logo up here in the top left. This is just like any other Google Apps program I've used. I have access to email, search, Google+, calendar, sites, all that wonderful stuff. But again, we're just going to focus on Drive right now. The first thing I need to do is I need to download this program for my computer. So I'm going to click Download Google Drive for PC. It's going to, in Chrome, it does a little installer down here. If you have Internet Explorer, you might have to click Open and Run. Firefox should do something similar. Whatever it does, open it, and we're going to install this really quick. This is a web-based installer, so it can take a second just because it has to download the important files and install them. Okay, once it's installed, go ahead and hit close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just minimize this window, and you can see that it's installed all of my Google Drive apps on my desktop. The first thing we need to run is we need to run Google Drive, so I'm going to double click this and open it. And it's going to ask me to sign in, so I'm going to click sign in. And again, I'm going to use my DCIS Montbello email, not the one that I use for my personal stuff, my @Gmail. And remember, this is a new password that you've created. Once you got that correct, click sign in. You don't need to click this box, just click next. And instead of doing advanced setup, just say start sync. And so what you'll notice is that it's opened this folder. This is my Google Drive folder. You can see that it's a folder that's created in my favorites. Here it is. It's also in my personal documents folder as well. And you can see it's already synced the files that were on my server. So if you want to get to this quickly, the shortcut's created on your desktop, so you can just double click that and it will always open your Google Drive folder. Or it's hidden down here in your hidden icons. It's this little icon. I'm just going to drag this here so it always remembers to keep it open. And if I click on it, I can see some different options like go to the Google Drive folder, which I just showed you, or go to the website where I can view items that are shared with me. It also shows me how much storage I have. So remember, you have 30 gigs, which is a lot of storage. Just be careful what you put on there because a lot of videos and stuff can take up all your storage. Now let's talk about how to save stuff to Google Drive. So pretend you're working on a document. Could be any document, it could be a lesson plan, it could be in Word, it could be a PowerPoint, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you save it, make sure you save it in your Google Drive folder. Now remember, this is going to put a copy on your computer, but it's also going to sync to the Google Drive server. So really you have two copies, one on your computer and one on the Google Drive servers. So I'm going to click Save, and you can see that very quickly it starts syncing. The little Google Drive symbol was moving there for a second if you happen to see it. And if I open my Google Drive folder, I can see that that file is indeed there. If you're new to Google Drive, best practice is to always open and edit your folders using the Google Drive app on your computer. If you want to get a little crazy and go advanced, you can start doing it through the web version, but I'm not going to go into that right now. That'll be a different video for a later time. So all you need to know is that any file that you create that you want backed up, put it in Google Drive. Any folders you want to create, you can put folders in here just like you would do on your computer, and it's storing it on your computer. But again, what's different is it's syncing it all to the Google Drive servers, which is making backup copies of everything. So you always have a backup just in case. It also enables you to be able to share your files with whoever you would like to. In order to share this stuff, there's two ways you can share it. So if I want to share this document that I just created, I can right-click it, go down to the icon where it says Google Drive, and then click Share. Be careful not to go to the Share With, because this is a Windows feature and this is not how you share the files. So go to Google Drive, click on Share, and it's going to open up a window that lets me share this document. So by default, they're set to private, and only you can view it. There's a couple ways I can share it. One is I can give people a link. So if I click on this and copy that link, I could email it to people. But in order for them to access it, I got to change this from private. So I'm going to click Change, and you can see I have some options. I can share it with people at DCIS only. I can share it with everyone at DCIS, and they can find it even without the link, so they could search for it. Anyone with the link outside of DCIS can access it, so like if I emailed this one to someone at a different school. Or I can make it public on the web, meaning anyone can search for it. Probably most of your stuff will be shared with people at DCIS if you're sending a link. Down here you can change what they can do. So edit means they can take this document and change it. Comments means they can only leave Google comments on it. Or view just means they can view it only. Edit generally means things like they can delete the file, they can get rid of it. When view means they can just download it, but they can't delete it. I'm going to cancel this really quickly because the other way that you can share it is by inviting people. So the way to invite people is to type in their emails. So for example, if I wanted to share this with Principal Mori, I could type in her email address. Notice it pops up here automatically at DCIS Montbello. I can change her permissions. By default, if I'm emailing it to someone, it goes to they can edit, but you might want to change it to, they can only view. Eventually, we'll be able to do whole groups of people, such as DCIS administrators or DCIS faculty, which are entire groups of people. And I'll send out a list of how to do that soon. Once you want to share this document, you can say notify them via email, which I recommend, and then click Share and Save. If someone shared something with you, there's a couple ways you can tell. One is you can go into your email, and you can see here, for example, is a document that I shared with myself, and it sent me an email saying that I shared an item with you. So I can click on this link, and it'll open that shared document. Notice by default that things aren't put in my Google Drive folder. So if I want this document, I have to add it to my Google Drive. Another way I can check it is if I go back to here to my Google Drive web version, I can click Shared with Me, and again you can see these folders that have been shared with me, such as this folder that Anashay shared with me, but I haven't added it to my drive, probably because she has not given me permission to add it to my drive. But this one, I do have permission, and so if I click this folder and click Add to my drive, then it will show up in my synced Google Drive folder. Another way to do that as well is you can say view items shared with me, and it will just take you back to the same page directly from your Google Drive shortcut link. So I'm going to go ahead and click add to my drive. And if I go click back on my drive, you can see that that coaching folder is now here, and it's been moved out of, well, it hasn't been moved out of, it's in both places, but now I have access to it in my folder. You can also see down here that Google is syncing the files locally onto my computer, so I have access to them as well. The benefit to adding it to your drive is, one, again, it'll sync it to your computer, but if the person, so in this case myself, disabled this folder or deleted it, I would still have a copy because I have added it into my drive. So anytime someone shares something with you, just be sure to go ahead and click add to my drive.